Welcome back to the channel. This is the Volkswagen California. It's missing one thing, that's a toilet. Apart from that, it is a house on wheels and it can help you explore so much of the world under one roof. Quite a sizable roof as well. Now in this video we're going to check it out in huge detail. What's the interior like? What's featured on board? Is it easy to live with? And are there any catches you should be aware of if you're in the really lucky position of being considering one of these? Hit subscribe if you haven't. Let's take a look in more detail. Like any home, it begins with the front door. Kind of a sliding front door anyway. Straight away you've got lights here that can illuminate your path and just make it all feel very homely and cozy. So let's jump in and take a look and I'll show you some of the tricks on board the California. So first of all, for privacy, when you close your door easily enough, there is blinds that you can just slide down here and keep everything nice and private should you wish. There is storage under here, easy to open. Keeps things like the lever for retracting the awning on the outside of the car down. Very handy, and there's cables for charging when you're plugged into a campsite for your separate battery that does things like the interior heating. That's separate. It's auxiliary and it keeps everything nice and toasty. And then to lie the bed, because this is a two-seater bed by the way, you rock this forward. There's a very simple lever here that you pull. The headrests go down with the touch of a button. Again, very easily done. And the bed goes fully flat. There's two Isofix seats in here as well for when you're sitting up. And all of a sudden, it's already somewhere that you can put your head down and relax. Come take a look at this. So all of a sudden, a very cozy bed awaits you and you can just relax. There's climate control heating options up here. There's a storage bin area that opens up here and slides down. Keep whatever you like up there. There's more here. It even has a little light so you could do your shaving with the mirror. And really small kids can actually fit in there if you want to hide them away for a little hour or two in there with an iPad. There is also a fridge, beautiful, a gas hob, and an actual sink with a basin. It's thought of everything. And when you have your door shut, it really is a peaceful place to hang out. All you need is an iPad for watching a couple of movies, and I don't know what else you need. Now, when you're on the move, there's things like grab handles to keep you nice and sturdy. There's blinds all around, including up here. So you truly are guaranteed privacy once you're in the vehicle. There's even stuff at the front for closing up the windscreen. And as soon as you're finished with it being a bed, you simply pull up this lever like this, get your headrest back, all done in a matter of seconds. Slide your seat all the way back here and you've got tons of room again. It's brilliant. There's storage cupboards down here, tons of space for that. Another bit that I think is really clever how they've managed to hide things away and make it all work is this table, which has an extendable leg on it. That slides down. You can have dinner in peace. And if for whatever reason that table isn't big enough inside the door here, is also another pop-out table. And this one comes fully out. Got a few more legs on it. Very easy to use, and if you have guests over, that would work. And again, how it fits into the car is just brilliant. Now, it's not all totally perfect in the California, because to turn this captain seat around, it's a bit of a rigmarole. You've got to make sure you're in park, take off your handbrake, drop that down, bring your seat a bit forward, squeeze in this bit, bring it a bit more forward again, turn it around, maybe to really make it easy, open the steering column, then maybe get in this way, go back a bit, and then spin it, and then it's turned. Now, passenger seat isn't probably as hard to do, and once you've done it 4 or 5 times, it's very easy to do, and you realize how much you need to move it around and jiggle with it. But this gets in the way and the steering wheel gets in the way. But once you can move the slidery bit, you'll be all good. So one of the first things to note is that it is quite noisy when you're operating the roof. A couple of buttons here that will operate it for you. Pop-up roof, and it makes quite a noise. One thing those crazy cats at Volkswagen have done is included a little torch down here, which is very easy to find your way around in the dark. Not that there isn't plenty of light anyway. And your auxiliary heater also comes out of here. The boot has lots of clever stuff. If you're in a car park with a wall or another car behind you, that will prove problematic because it's quite a deep boot lid. Little handle for helping you pull it down as well, but there's also nice bits of shelter from it. This model has reverse sensors and a reversing camera on board. Go for the camera, it will make your life a lot easier, I promise. There's more storage back here, more shelves to put stuff into. There's even a thing for connecting a small shower to. Not really to have a shower in, but for washing dirty shoes and boots and stuff when you've been walking. The boot, as you can imagine, is still generous with everything that's going on inside. It's quite amazing how much they've managed to fit and capture into this car all in one space. And there's little LED lights here to light up this part of the van as well. So that stuff is clever. And this is part of your bed that when you have a flat on the inside, you can use all that for. Little switch for the lights up here. It's just those little attention to detail things that make you go, that's impressive. That's pretty good. Up here is brilliant because you have 2 deck chairs that really easily slide out. You never know they're there. And you sit down and you just relax. You take in the sight around you. Closing it, it's a heavy boot. If you could get an electric option, and there is a little blank plate there to suggest that maybe you can, and that would probably make life a lot easier. There's a little bit of an electric grab in the back. There's your little sticker for when your gas was last changed, because don't forget, this thing can cook. Brilliant. I keep saying brilliant, but it kind of is, you know. Now, up top, what's it like? I know everyone's wondering, what's it like up there? Show me. Okay, come on, let's take a look. There is no doubt that climbing up is not the most glamorous way of doing things. These 2 armrests, dare I say it, get used for supports quite a bit. So, you put your foot up onto these, and you hoosh yourself up. And up here is also class. Like, you have to go all the way back to feel any sort of claustrophobia. You know, if you're someone who suffers from it, up here is probably not the place for you. But there is a real level of kind of snugness and comfort in here. You can open these window blinds on either side. Now, when you open the blinds, the light floods in and you feel like you're nearly looking underneath the stars. And then on a really bright summer's day, you might have a lake or the sea or some snow-capped mountains in the background. And that's going to be cheaper than any hotel room that you can pay for in a room with a view. I've really enjoyed my week with the California. I'm going to miss it when it goes. It's got a pretty big weak link in the fact that it has no toilet. But apart from that, it can do an awful lot. One of the criticisms of the camper is that although you can hit the road quickly, you've got to decamp every time you want to go somewhere. And that is true. If you've run out of milk or water or whatever supplies on your camping trip, you're going to have to put everything back into the California, secure it down just to drive to the shops and back again a few minutes later. It is one disadvantage, but the advantage of course is you've got a mobile California that can be tucked away in a matter of seconds and get you somewhere else very, very quickly. One last thing to do, and that's to take it for a spin. So let's jump on board. To be behind the wheel of just feels like any sort of a modern Volkswagen van. Seating position is the same as any transporter. This has a 7-speed automatic DSG gearbox. It has the 4Motion. It has 200 brake horsepower on tap. It's the TDI. And it just performs on the road as you'd expect. Yes, it is a heavy beast. Yes, there are a good few rattles as things settle down in the cabin, or if you don't clip the fold-away table securely, you'll get rattles as well. So this one is the 200 brake horsepower, 4Motion, 7-speed DSG gearbox. It has enough overtaking power, there's no doubt. It does just under 8 litres per 100 kilometres. And when you factor in the weight of the thing, like it's a couple of tons, and then you're going to have stuff like water on board and passengers, that all adds to weight. But it still performs well, and the fuel economy I think is pretty decent for what the vehicle is doing. There's even more cleverness throughout, so it just feels like any sort of a modern VW van. Instruments are all very clear. Now, handling wise, you know, you are conscious it weighs quite a bit. In some ways it's great that you can just pick up and go, and you can slot this thing into a car park and no one is really gonna, like, some people do come up and ask you questions about it. There is definitely a loyal fan base and curiosity from the public as they're going by. But you can also pull the blinds down, park this wherever you like, and you know, it's fairly inconspicuous if you go for a subtle colour. This turmeric yellow is not quite that subtle colour, but it can blend in when you need it to. And the fact that, you know, you've got double armrests up front here, keep everything very comfortable, easy to drive, it's easy to park. It's not the biggest vehicle in the world, especially when you factor in everything that has been managed to be squeezed into it. So it does the driving job pretty effortlessly, I have to say. Strangely enough, there's no blind for this window. So you have these gadgety things that you can pull across in front of the windscreen to keep out the light. So blinds there would be good. Don't know why that is, it's weird. The pros definitely outweigh the cons in the California though, and you will have road trips, memories. Your family will absolutely love it. Your kids want to play with it even when you aren't going anywhere and it's just sitting on the driveway. And it's going to be a vehicle that you will just get your fun out of time and time again. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and having a poke around the California. Get to a dealer to have a look firsthand if you can. And thank you very much for watching.